All right, what I want to talk about is the HF and HJ7 Paragon transmissions. They're old. I mean, they're 1962 to 1968, basically. But unfortunately, we see a lot of assembly mistakes on these. And one of the big issues is no neutral. And they have a very interesting way of pushing the piston back in the drum. Now, most modern transmissions, there'd be like a spring here and a retainer and a collar to push this down. But you can see when you take this out, that thing just falls right out. And the O-rings are in it, okay? So, what's a spring there? So, you know, I've got the O-rings in it. All right, but what pushes this back are these little 3 springs. Now, the interesting thing is the clutch plates, if you look at the steels, they have holes and then no holes. Obviously, hole, no hole, every other one. So you have to assemble this in a manner that the outer plates, these springs, push against it. So this is a clutch pack here that's assembled incorrectly, and this is how this clutch came apart. And you can see these springs go through these holes. Well, there's nothing to press up against this. So the idea is I slide a steel in there. All right, here's the hole on one, here's no hole. So what I need to do is assemble the clutch pack. Let's take a bronze. All right, and then I'm gonna grab another steel. And what I need to do is I need to line up all these holes like right here. See, there's no hole right here. I'm gonna line this up like this. All right, because that's where I'm gonna put my springs in. Put this in real quick. Back my spring over here. Okay, I'm lining up the holes for the inside plates. Easier said than done, but you get the idea here. I just want to save somebody down the road because as old timers unfortunately expire from this earth that knew all this stuff, and that's what I was taught by. This knowledge evaporates, and then people put stuff together and they don't understand what's going on. Because if you do modern transmissions, this is not the case. This is old school here. And the P44s, when they came out in 1969, they didn't matter. Like I say, if you've ever wondered what the hole and no hole thing is on a Paragon clutch plate, now you know. Pretty interesting setup, you know. Just their way of doing it back then. But what happens is if you can't release this clutch, then I don't have neutral. So, and that's, I'm sure, what happened here. I mean, that's why it came in, and you could tell it was just, this transmission was just a part, you know, somewhere. We're doing my best here one-handed, but all right, now this is the last important part. I got the clutch pack built. Now, I need to put the springs in. Okay? Springy in there. Okay? Springy in here. See how it sticks up? Okay? Springy in here. See? Hitting that bottom. Right there. That's exactly what it should look like. And then what I do is I put this plate in a manner, I should say, that a block off is right there. And see how I got clearance now? That would be, I would have a neutral. That is how you assemble. Then I go ahead and put my screw collar on, all right? And I like to put these on, you gotta be careful. I'm gonna put actually some thicker grease in here because when I go to flip this over, I could lose my piston. So, but that is the proper way how to set up an HF7 and an HJ7. HJ7 was on big block engines typically, 430 Lincolns, 427 Fords, and HF7s were 283s, 327s, 350s, and so forth. So there's my tip of the day on Paragon HF HJ7 forward clutch installation.